On this episode of the Best of Bias podcast, you got your boy, and we back. I know I say this every other week. It's been a weird couple of weeks, couple of months, man. I know I've been off a couple of weeks. It's been scatterbrained, a couple of little snafus here and there. But hey, I got something to tell y'all about. Review all of it when we get started here. But it's the Best of Bias podcast. We back. It's Friday, and I missed y'all. Rather, excuse me, than argue and fuss. Let's get right to it, man. I'm sorry I left y'all. I told y'all again and again. I tried to get in here early, but we had wedding festivities to plan and get ready for last week. Damo and honey, congratulations again. We talked about it a little bit last time about the bachelor party a couple of episodes ago, but the union has finally been sealed. The balls, man, it was a lovely wedding. I want to tell you guys all about it. But let's get right to it, baby. We got lots of stuff to talk about. March Madness, to talk about a little bit of NFL, some pop culture stuff. The P. Diddy stuff is getting wild. I wasn't able to tell y'all about the raids and stuff. Catch y'all up. I know I'm a little behind from everybody else. I know everybody else has already got this stuff covered, but it's the Best of Bias podcast. And man, what kind of news cycle is it if Lydell don't put his little spin on it and bring his bias to the table? So can I hold y'all for about an hour or so? Can we chat on this Friday? All new listeners, welcome. Thank you for clicking play. All people that have been here forever since 2019 when this beautiful podcast was established, welcome back. And again, I apologize from last week. I was in a wedding, a beautiful wedding. Thank you again, Shahani and Damon, for inviting me and letting me be a part of it. I said this a whole bunch of times in the videos that I sent to y'all, but may y'all love be infinity and beyond. You know what I'm saying? It might sound corny, but I mean that from the bottom of my heart. But yeah, with that being said, stop all along talking like I usually say, and where that theme song at is right here. It's the Best of Bias podcast. Yeah, we back.
It's the best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to unite us. It's the best of bias. The best of bias. Yeah, it's the best of bias.
Yeah. It's the Best of Bias podcast since the player of the year. You know what I'm saying? It's Lydell Dinero, even though it's the same word and didn't really rhyme. I just got to get y'all paying attention at the beginning of the podcast. Welcome back, and welcome back. Let's give a round of applause for yourself for being back this week, man. I know last week y'all was looking for me and questioning where the podcast. I tried to leave y'all a good pod a couple of weeks ago, so you can just go click play and just chew on that for a while until I came back, but I'm back today. Again, I apologize for not actually having a pod last week, not even really mentioning it, not even getting on Instagram to let y'all know what was going on. But if y'all do follow me on my regular page, on the Lydell Dinero page, SZN_Lydell, you'll see what happened. My boy, one of my best friends for sure. Damo, you see him on the podcast all the time, chopping it up. You know what I'm saying? He's a regular out here. He got hitched, man, to the love of his life, man. 10 years in the making. And Little King, too, man. King was there. Everybody was beautiful. Shout out to all the guys that took part and were able to celebrate the union as well. Man, it was beautiful. So many old friends, so many memories made. It was a beautiful event, man. The bachelor party was just the tip of the iceberg. You know what I'm saying? We still had to have that review bachelor party, but man, now that the wedding is over and Damo can kind of relax, Shahani can relax, maybe we can review on the pod just kind of, some of the stuff that how the wedding went, some of the prep stuff, just for people maybe that seem or will be getting married, plan to propose or scared to propose because you don't know how much wedding expenses are going to be. They did a lot of DIY stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to spill too much of the tea, but if they will, I'll be really happy for them to come on the podcast and we can reflect on the wedding. Prep, how it went, feelings during the wedding, if they want to talk about some of the decisions they made during the wedding. Again, it was a beautiful ceremony. The venue was amazing. Again, we thank them for having us. The photographers, the vibes were all there, man. I know my boy was a little nervous, but he did what Damo usually does. He sticks it out and prevails through all odds, man. And it was beautiful to see. Shani looked beautiful as well. To actually meet her family was amazing, and just to see two people that actually love each other and were, just together for so long to officially tie the knot and just become one. We saw them become one during that ceremony, and it was very beautiful to see. Maybe we could talk a little bit more about it once they are guests on the podcast. Haven't had Shahani on, had Damo on a bunch of times. So maybe when she's comfortable enough, I'm down to have new guests on all the time, and she's always welcome. I hope she hears the pod and can, receive this invitation. Maybe Damo will listen and tell her. But again, shout out to all the guys that were a part of it. It was a long couple of months getting ready for. I'm proud of everybody for getting out there and doing their dances. You know what I'm saying? Again, check out the Instagrams of all the homies and me too. I'm gonna be spreading some love on there because a lot more videos to come, a lot more production because Demo got to put a little spin on it. Production wizard. You feel me? So once he gets all the videos and pictures and stuff, I'm sure you'll be seeing a lot of it on social media. So look out for that. Again, I apologize for not being here last week. That's the reason. I know there's always a little excuse thrown in there, but I'm doing what I can, man. I'm a one-man band man. Well, I keep saying one-man band man, and every time I say it, I think about it, and I'm like, fuck that, nah. AKA helping all the time. V-Rons behind the scenes, helping me with topics and keeping my mental sane. So I need to stop saying it's a one-man show because you guys coming and clicking every week and keeping me going. Y'all part of the team too, a part of the family. So it's not a one-man band, but you guys know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? It's a little tough to run that 9 to 5, have a social life, and do everything for the pod. But we getting there, man. No excuses. We here today. You feel me? So let's get right into it, man. Starting with March Madness because I know I missed a lot. Haven't really talked to y'all or been in the pod sphere since the tournament started. John's birthday, young Johnny Mac 650 had a birthday on March 20th, a little ways back, and that's the last real men's game I paid attention to in the tournament. Yeah, man. Oregon, of course, that's who I pay attention to in college sports at all times. But for the March Madness, man, again, we talked a lot about the one and dones and the high school athletes and the G League and a lot of stuff that keeps and prevents us from getting to know a lot of the men's college basketball players. So this year, last couple of years, man, it's just been kind of like a lull. The best player in the draft came out of France, didn't even play in college. So, and a lot of the players behind them, the Ansar or the Thompson twins played in the G League. We saw a little bit of Brandon Miller in at Alabama, I believe it was. Was it Alabama? Yeah, it was Alabama. So a lot of the top players last year were kind of slightly known or kind of took a little bit of a different route to get to the NBA. So it's kind of just been left a lot on the table and left a lot to be longed for when it comes to March Madness on the men's side. Everybody's still going to bet and try to win money off the brackets, but UConn has been good for the last couple of years, and they're kind of working their way up to just going. I think they won last year, if I'm not mistaken, and they may win again this year. In the Final Four for the men, we have NC State, the 11th seed, is going to be playing. Let's see. I think they're playing against Purdue. Yeah, they're playing against Purdue, the 1 seed, and Alabama will be taking on UConn, the 1 seed on the other side. If I'm going to guess, I mean, I didn't watch a lot of UConn, Alabama, or actually, I've been watching a little bit of Purdue and NC State since they've been in the tournament, of course, and getting kind of deep into the tournament. Zach Edey's on another level. I got like 40 and 16 last game. 7'4" guy. Kind of, he's looking like the best player in the tournament. It just kind of is going to be questionable about how he does in the NBA. He's kind of stiff. He's a big man, yeah, but his 3-point shot is kind of something that I think he needs to build on. I mean, he's cool as far as being a big man in college and be able to get to where he wants to get in college, but I don't know if he's going to be exactly able to get to where he wants to get in the NBA as fluid and as good the big men are today. I don't think he'll be able to hang with the Embiids, Karl Anthony Towns. I don't know how he's going to be after his surgery, but Jokic, AD. I don't know if he's going to be as fluid as them. You know what I'm saying? He looks like a NBA Zubats kind of guy to me. But he could prove me wrong because the number he's putting up are kind of crazy. But then again, like the prospects in the NCAA men's side aren't really that dope right now. So, I mean, again, who knows? You know what I'm saying? But maybe that's the media's fault for not putting as much hype on the Final Four or the Elite Eight on the men's side as they are putting on the women's side. And hey, it's not a bad thing because I'm loving the women's side, man. I was going to tell you about the Sweet 16, but hey, I missed so much time. I might as well just get to the Elite Eight. You know what I mean? Over the weekend, we had Oregon State versus South Carolina. South Carolina beat them 70-58. Of course, South Carolina is the 1 seed. 36-0. Don is out there having them girls right, recruiting crazy. A lot of talk has been made of LSU, Iowa, UCLA, UConn, but everybody forgets about South Carolina, who's been winning everything for the last couple of years. But then, of course, they didn't win it all last year. LSU did win, but I'm saying everybody's kind of like, putting the spotlight on everybody else. But I mean, hey, I don't blame them for it because they do have a bunch of stars in this tournament. Paige Bucher, Caitlin Clark, of course, Juju Watkins. Who else we got? Of course, we had Angel Reese, Flage, Flage. What's her last name? Johnson? Yeah. Anyways, it was stars galore, and it's bringing a whole bunch of eyes. Last year's drama, Iowa and LSU in the final, brought all the eyes to the LSU and Iowa game this year. Though it was like a quarterfinal game, wasn't necessarily, what I'm saying, not the Final Four or anything like that. Everybody wanted to see what it's made of. You saw Caitlin Clark killing all season, Angel Reese and LSU killing all season, so they're on a crash course to play each other either way. But for it to be this early and getting the viewers that it got, I think it got about 12 million viewers, the most of any women's game ever. And it rivaled a whole bunch of men's professional sports games of last year or this year as well. The USC UConn game got 9 million views. It was crazy, man. The Elite Eight was nuts. But to continue with the scores, Indiana. Oh, let me see. Oh, no, excuse me. I kind of fucked that up. No. NC State beat Texas 76-66. That was an upset there. Texas was the 1 seed on their side of the bracket, and NC State was a 3 seed. They beat Texas. And then Monday night we had LSU again, like I mentioned, played Iowa. Caitlin Clark was able to best Angel Reese in the LSU Lady Tigers. Caitlin Clark had 41 points, 7 rebounds, 12 assists. Angel Reese had 17 points with 20 rebounds. Hard fought battle, but you know what I'm saying? Caitlin Clark is her. You know what I'm saying? She really can shoot from anywhere. She draws double teams to be able to kick it to her, players on the outside or cutting. And they always make their shots. The fundamentals are down. Again, she had 12 assists. They're knocking down shots when they get the ball from her. She's knocking down shots from distance. They just made more plays than LSU can make. Even though Angel Reese was able to do her thing and able to get hella rebounds, some of the shots that they were taking and some of the stuff that was going on wasn't enough. Whenever they made a mistake, Iowa was there to hit a 3 or hit a timely bucket. You know what I'm saying? It got a little closer in about the third quarter. LSU made a run, but towards the end of the third quarter and started the fourth quarter, Iowa was just able to sustain a lead. And every time they made a punch, Caitlin Clark or Martin would just punch back. And that was that. And then as far as the USC game, USC lost to UConn. USC was the 1 seed, lost 73-80. Paige Bucher dropped 28 points, had 10 rebounds, and Juju had 29 points and 10 rebounds. Juju put up incredible numbers for a freshman. Everybody forgets that Juju is the only star that's a freshman out of everybody that people are talking about. They put up Juju and compare her. She had a 51-point game after Caitlin, I think, had like a 50-point game or something like that. She's putting up numbers comparable to Caitlin Clark, and she's a freshman. I think Caitlin Clark's a junior, maybe even a senior now, maybe a senior. Paige Bucher is like maybe a junior, maybe a senior now. So it's like all the stuff that she's doing as a freshman is crazy. I really like the USC teams. Me personally, I would never like a USC team. Just because of the Pac-12 feud, even now with the Big Ten feud. But Juju is just different. The way she hoops, it is different. I just wish her teammates were more accepting of her talents. I know sometimes she could be a little ball hoggy, but I mean, she's the point getter. I don't know all the players on the team, but their centers weren't really, doing what they needed to do. They weren't crashing boards. When loose balls would come their way, they'll lose the ball out of bounds. When they would get the ball wide open, they would blow wide open shots. Juju would throw on the ball and they would airball shots. And Paige or anybody else on UConn would just kind of capitalize on that and just turn around and make a bucket. So yeah, it's her freshman year. I think it's the first time that, let's see, I think the USC got to the Elite Eight since the 1980s. First, I think she was a leading scorer in the NCAA as a freshman. 982 points. It was just wild. You saw, if you guys follow the Best of Bias's Instagram page, you see how much I put on for Juju Watkins. I just love the game. You know what I'm saying? Just like Sabrina when she was at Oregon, and I loved every minute of her game, every second of her time at Oregon. Juju is going to be special, and I think it's a great role model for ladies and girls coming up that want to play basketball, that are looking for different styles of ways to play basketball, looking for ways to model their game. Juju, Caitlin, Paige, all of them, all of them. I can't forget what's her name from Stanford. My bad, I'm hella forgetting your name right now. But there's a bunch of ladies out there that are hopefully becoming trendsetters. And letting Van Lith, I know she wasn't really good when she went to LSU, but when she was at Louisville, she was balling. You know what I'm saying? I'm just hoping that all these girls that are out here balling out can just lead the way and just, help more girls try to get into it. Hope this also brings more money, more support for the women's game, which also, congruently helps. Oh, no, it's not the right word, but I had to say it. It was in my head. I don't know. Just makes the WNBA get more funded and just pay the women more money there. So just it's another outlet, and we get more talented basketball players and girls that could be talented basketball players interested in going because they actually get paid for doing so in the WNBA. You know what I mean? Though we need more doctors, lawyers, all that in the world, but equal pay in sports and also like the quality of sports. I'm all about increasing that as well. You know what I'm saying? Just the quality of basketball player, the diversity of basketball player we get in the WNBA and in women's NCAA. It's cool, man. It's just going to bring more eyes, and I love the support that the NBA players and the men's basketball players are giving the women, and I'm loving what the women are doing with it. They're WNBA is trying to separate themselves from the NBA and kind of seek their own funding and do their own thing and not just be under the shadow of the NBA. And with a lot of the it's like a trickle down effect because the NCAA keeps giving you women the love and as they come up through the system, and then once they get to the WNBA, you want to see how they're doing. And just keep following them through that. It's just great. And I'm just also grateful for the women who paved the way before them. That were balling out, the Lisa Leslie's. We're seeing a whole bunch of Cheryl Miller highlights and stuff of her playing at USC the last time they made a Final Four. So it's just bringing a lot of light to history that could have easily been forgotten if we weren't taking the steps, and the women aren't taking the next steps they are to put this sport on the map and other sports too. Yeah, the list goes on and on. I'll be remiss if I didn't give other women in sports a shout out as well for what they're doing to push their sports up and back towards the forefront and stuff like that as well. But yeah, we've seen a lot. So Final Four, we have Iowa versus UConn, South Carolina versus NC State. It's very interesting because we have both UConn men and women's and NC State's men and women's both in the Final Four. So it's the first time we've ever seen that. So that's really cool. We have NC State in the Final Four for the first time since 1983. So it's a lot of parity that we're seeing. I spit. You saw that. A lot of parity we're seeing in the Final Fours. Though the men's side is not getting as much hype because of the star power that the WNBA, but the women's side has. I'm just happy that there's still attention being brought to the sport, and we're able to have a good March. Though some of the sports have kind of fallen off, the men's side, of course, but the women's side is still carrying March Madness, and we still care about it. So let's go. Moving on to the NBA, man, just talk a little bit about what's going on. It's like the last 10 games. Everybody's making that push on the top of the West. You know what it is, the Nuggets, man. We're in a three-way battle with the Minnesota Timberwolves and the OKC Thunder to see who's going to get that home court advantage and secure that #1 seed. Jamal Murray's been out for us for the last 4 games, which kind of worries me, but at the same time, I know coaches just resting him to get him ready at full strength for the playoff. Excuse me, because that playoff push is very, very, very long and very, very taxing. I just want them to get as much rest as they can and be as healthy as possible in the playoffs, because we don't need anybody, knock on wood, going down in the playoffs and just hurting our chances that much more. We want to be able to be fluid and just do whatever we need to do, just like last year, to get through whoever we play. These standings are looking crazy right now. These teams are balling and trying to make the play-in and playoffs, and it's going to be a fight to the end, man. The Lakers and the Warriors are on streaks of their own, 5 and 6 games, just winning, trying to make that push to either secure themselves in the playoffs at a top 6 seed or get as high as they can to play less games in the play-in. But the play-in right now is looking like Kings, Suns, Lakers, and the Warriors, with the Rockets fighting the hope the Lakers or the Warriors slump a little bit and lose some games to catch them and try to pass them up to make the play-in. But man, anybody's dangerous in the West. I've been saying that all year. And me personally, just securing home court advantage is probably the best security we're going to have behind having Jokic on our team. It doesn't matter who we play first round, because it's going to be tough, man. Whether it be the Pelicans, the Suns, whoever wins in the playoffs, Lakers, Warriors, like, it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a team that really wants to beat us. We swept the Warriors this year. We swept the Lakers this year. Shout out LeBron, though, for a couple of days ago. 40 points, having 9 3-pointers in year 21, man. You would swear he was 45 years old, the way people talk about him. But who knows, man? Maybe the body, if people start taking care of their body like these professionals that make a whole bunch of money are doing, maybe you can last until 39 as well. You know what I mean? Who knows? But LeBron's out there balling. It's just going to be a crazy fight to see who he played. Joel Embiid just came back for the Sixers, so it's going to be interesting to see what they do, because they fell a little bit in his absence. So him coming back can put a big damper on a team that won the top seed. One of the top seeds, have to see them at the bottom of the bracket. That'll be kind of fucked up. But I know on the West side, Minnesota, OKC, and Denver has secured home court for the first round. I think on the East side, the Celtics just secured the #1 seed just because they're so far ahead of the number 2 seed. Milwaukee keeps falling down. The Cavaliers, we don't know what they are. Donovan Mitchell just came back. The Knicks are still missing Randall and OG Anunoby, though they are doing really good without him. Jalen Brunson is balling out. I don't know exactly what they're going to be. Again, those teams at the bottom of the West are kind of scary. I'm keep jumping back to the West. But, of course, you have the Magic. You have, of course, the Heat. You have a whole bunch of teams in the East that could upset anybody in the East, except for it looks like the Celtics, because they had the opportunities all year. And I'm sure the Celtics don't have a negative record against anybody in the East the way they've been winning. So it's going to be interesting to see. There's going to be, let's see. Moving, oh, that's NFL. I don't know why I did that. Wow, all that shit's yeah, all that shit's in NFL. Wow, that's fucked up. But anyways, yeah, that's all I really had about basketball, man. It's just coming to the end, man. Hopefully your favorite team is making that push. Just want to do a little check-in. Again, the Nuggets are the #1 seed right now. But like I said, it's still going to be very scary to see who the #8 seed is, who the #7 seed is. Still got a couple of tough games left on the schedule. We play, this comes out on Friday, so we played the Clippers yesterday, so I'm not too sure what happened from that quite yet. But that's one of the last tough games we have. We have the Minnesota Timberwolves again. That game could determine first place, depending on how well the Timberwolves do play. But we'll see, man. I'm still confident. Next year, I did see some news here that we're having 2 Christmas games, even though Christmas is on Wednesday. That's kind of weird, but hey, we still doing that. That might be for football, because I know basketball has hella games. So yeah, I'm getting into football news. So let me just hop into that. I'm way back in football news, super late on this shit with y'all, but hip tackle banned, 15-yard penalty, and an automatic first down. The rule changes are kind of interesting. It seems like we are getting closer and closer to flag football, with all the stuff kind of favors the offense. But me personally, being a person who kind of has been injured, has really been injured from tackle football, and the way people try to tackle different size people, and then the misinformation and just the misinformedness of how to tackle, I think has hurt a lot of people. It's hurt me. We've witnessed a whole bunch of devastating injuries on the field that I'm sure that the NFL doesn't want to keep showing, or keep showing the kids and parents, because they want people to keep playing football. So they're trying their hardest to make the game safer. I get it, man. We've seen a lot of people get very injured from the hip drop tackle. That's when they grab by the waist and just pull all their weight down. It kind of pulls the player's body down, and the legs are usually still under him, and the player will fall on the player's legs, and their body gets really bent back really far. We've seen that plenty of times. We saw Patrick Mahomes get tackled like that to hurt an ankle, even though he still did hella well. I think he might have won the Super Bowl that year still after getting his ankle hurt. But Yeah, it's rough, man. I know I feel it from a defensive player's perspective. It's like, how do we kind of make a living? How are we supposed to get players down? How about our side of the ball? Like, why are all these rules made to help the offense score points? But at the same time, I'm like, maybe we should implement more tackling drills, how to make a form tackle, just like teach more technique of how not to get shook. You know what I'm saying? If the big guy's running at you, learn how to hold them up or just find a way to tackle them. Like, because me personally, I still don't like the leg tackle. So next, hopefully we make a tackle box and you are able to tackle them certain places. You can't go low because getting tackled in the legs and getting hit in your knee, like Nick Chubb did, he's been hurt a whole bunch of times like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be alternative. You can't hit nobody high. You're not gonna be able to hip drop nobody. So if you can't wrap somebody and just blast them, they're gonna go low, and that's gonna cause that. And then after that, if we're gonna take that away too, then we're kind of playing flag football. So I don't really know what we're trying to do. I understand offense and scoring points is cool, but I do respect the team that can play defense and stop an offense completely. You know what I mean? If a team has a terrible offense and can't score, that's one thing. But if a team has a dominant defense to where they're stopping everybody from scoring, I don't think they should be penalized from being a good defense. I understand face mask, because you see people's head go all the way around, hip drop tackles. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we can monitor those, but only the gruesome ones they throw the flag for. If you see somebody's body, and maybe you can make them challengeable, just because I know referees gonna be throwing flags and giving people like warnings and shit, and personal foul penalties and all that kind of shit off of shit that's not really the hip tackle by definition. So there has to be some kind of box, some kind of spectrum, some kind of leeway to help the defensive players learn to tackle, learn to be safer, but at the same time, you know, have the offense not have free will to do whatever the fuck they want. I know you can't blindside block, you can't do a hell of shit on offense, but man, if you have Derrick Henry running at you, how the hell are you supposed to tackle him? Jump on his back and just pull him down. I mean, I don't know how you're supposed to prevent that. But if you're a big ass player and you're taking a little player and is jumping off the ground and dragging them down by their hips, it's gonna get fucked up. So that is fucked up. Again, there's some trade news. Not Trevon Diggs, my bad. Stephon Diggs from the Bills was traded to the Texans today. I'm recording this on a Wednesday, so he got traded there today for a 6th round pick in 2024, and then it's a 2nd round pick in 2025, which I believe they got from like the Vikings or something like that. So yeah, so the Texans add to their arsenal that they have over there. They're getting CJ Stroud everything he needs to be successful after going deep in the playoffs last year. Tank Dell, Nico Collins. Now you add Stephon Diggs. They got Joe Mixon in the backfield. They have Dalton Schultz. They just got Danielle Hunter. They have Will Anderson from last year to go with Stingley and whoever they draft this year. So they're stacking up there over there on the Texans. They're paying the quarterback rookie money so they can do whatever they want. They can get a couple of good more years out of Danielle before they have to pay CJ Stroud. Yeah, D'Amico Ryans is doing great things over there. He probably gonna have that division locked up for a while. We'll see what Anthony Richardson brings to that division next year, and we'll see what the Titans are after getting a whole bunch of people in the secondary and also bringing over some receivers. I think they got Calvin Ridley, and they also got Gabe Davis. You know who they got in the no, I think Gabe Davis went to the Jaguars. But we're gonna see, even though actually the Jaguars are in that division too, right? Uh Jaguars, Colts, Titans, and Jaguars, Colts, Titans, and Texans, of course. But yeah, and Treylon Burks in another year. So we'll see, man. The division is gonna get turned up a little bit. And lastly, in NFL, as we check in right here, RIP Devontae Davis. Incredible. I think he plays safety or corner. Played corner safety. I think he played both in his career, but RIP to him. He passed away recently, man. Sad. 35 years old, way too young. Um, bless him. Prayers out to his family, man. He had one of the most epic retirements when he just left at halftime saying, "I'm done with this shit," and just left the field. Epic, a legend for that. One of the best of his time. Shout out, I think Brandon Davis is his brother, so prayers out to him too. Prayers to his whole family, man, because that's hella sad. Yeah, and prayers out to them. That's it for football, man. We have to talk about the Diddy raid, man. Holy shit. So we heard about all the shit. We talked about the shit with Cassie. We talked about the settlement she did. We talked about how it was in civil court and not federal court. So how it could be just be some rumors being spread, some little shit that's going on, and she took some hush money to shut up, and nothing was really going on. But Lord Jesus Christ, man, over the last couple of weeks, the shit has been picking up. We saw 50 Cent relentlessly going at him after the Cassie thing. Nobody really knew if there was more to it. People hear stories and have been hearing stories about Diddy and the way he got down behind the scenes for years and years and years. But again, there was never any proof of that. Nobody ever really, spoke about it for real, because, the power that Diddy had and all that kind of shit. But now, I mean, ever since the Cassie thing and she got her little settlement, everybody is coming out with stories, hitting the tabloids, starting with Lil Rod, talking about a whole bunch of shit with Meek Mill and Usher, to all kind of allegations, and people didn't really put much noise to it. Then the guy saying that Diddy had something to do with getting Tupac lined up came out and told on Diddy as well. And we thought it was just an opportunistic type of thing coming out after Cassie came out and said some shit. And it's just all kind of shit started spilling out. His homes in Miami and New York, or in LA. I think it was New York, LA. I think it was all three. New York, LA, and Miami all got raided under suspicion of sex trafficking. I have no idea what's going on, bro. Like, I am in complete, not shock, but I can't say shock because what the fuck is going on? Something I never thought would happen. Again, we've all heard the stories. We all heard what a Diddy party is, what shit happens behind closed doors, what it took to kind of make it in Hollywood, it took to make it behind the scenes. But good Lord, I never in a million years expected shit to actually go down. Yeah, people were arrested. Oh, well, not really arrested. They were detained. His house was torn up. Shit was looked for. Again, I don't know exactly what's looked for. Again, we speak of sex trafficking in no way. Excuse me. Let me preface this by saying, in no way am I defending Diddy or whatever happened, but sex trafficking. Could we have some stories of alleged sex trafficking stuff happening? Because shit, this stuff it's kind of out of nowhere. And if you're just raiding his house and then just leaving and nobody was arrested and nothing was reportedly found, then what are we doing? What's going on? Was it really sex trafficking? What do we got? What kind of dirt are we expecting to come out? Again, I don't know, maybe that's what's wrong with society nowadays. We aren't necessarily supposed to know, and we don't have to know. There's no legal binding reason for us to know. But it's just interesting. If they say sex trafficking is going on and you raid all three of his spots, did they know somebody was coming? Is this why Diddy was in none of his houses and his plane was flying to Antigua and we were looking for him on the plane? Like, and then all of a sudden his plane flyer, this young dude gets busted with drugs and or weed and coke on the plane. But then they call him a drug mule. So is he shipping drugs back and forth? Or did the pilot just have drugs on him when he got caught on the plane as far as personal use? Like, they're throwing these headlines out there, but they're not really digging too deep into them. You know what I'm saying? Tell us what happened. Is he really doing the shit that you guys are saying, or is it just stuff that's speculated? Did somebody make a call and said there might be sex trafficking going on there? Let's go check it out. You know what I'm saying? I'm still kind of confused, and it's been kind of silent since then. We've seen a lot of posts of Diddy coming out saying he was with his twins, just sitting there in Miami. None of that shit was real. As far as my plane being suspected of me on the run in Antigua, like. And we'll never know. Again, this is another thing that we'll never know. People kind of suspect it may be kind of like some kind of distraction from what's going on politically, trying to get everybody away from voting, paying attention to what Trump and everybody else in the political world are doing. But I don't think so, man. Distractions can only, if it's a real distraction, it'll distract you completely from everything that's going on. Our attention spans aren't that long out here nowadays. So whatever distraction you have for us, it's only gonna last a couple of days. So if you're gonna try to distract us with something that's off the political trail, it's only gonna be so long before we come right back. So I don't necessarily believe in all the distraction shit because not only do we have people that don't give a fuck about P. Diddy. So I think they're still probably locked on political stuff, but some people say that they didn't find anything in the raids, so maybe they were destroying evidence of people higher up, people that could have had camera footage at the spots. That could be. I don't know, man. He's still on the run, and on the run, but out there walking, living life. So what's going on? If he's really sex trafficking people and you're raiding his house, why aren't you still looking for him? Why aren't you arresting him? We're not hearing any stories about him being arrested, being taken in, being detained. All I heard was his family, Quincy, I don't know, what's his name, Sean, the younger Combs son, that looks just like him. He was getting arrested. Justin was getting arrested. Yeah. So what's actually going on, bro? Like, were the boys involved in the trafficking? Like, I don't know. It's just a lot of shit, man. And a lot of people are making a lot of jokes on his expense. And the more silent he is and the less information we know, the more speculation and the more ridicule. I mean, when you're dealing with money at that level, I guess he probably doesn't care about public ridicule. He just don't want to go to jail and lose his money. Or his credibility. I mean, maybe his ego is worth more than anything to him. That's probably why he was doing the weird shit that he was doing. But I don't know, man. It just makes it even weirder. It's like Hollywood, people want to make it in Hollywood and be big and do shit and be the biggest of your time and just hold it down for your generation. But it just seems like now you only get big enough to be taken down and for it to be a public spectacle when you do get taken down. People are already implying that Jay-Z has something to do with it because he's so silent about what's going on. It's like, fuck, bro. That's a scary thought. Like, aspirations to get big only last for so long till you're at that point, and then they find something to take you down. You know what I'm saying? It's like first of all, you can't rub elbows with the people that it takes to get successful without doing weird shit. And then once you do the weird shit and get successful for doing the weird shit, you get taken down for doing the weird shit. So is it all worth it in the long run? You know, keep your credibility, keep your soul, and just do the right thing and try to get big that way. Be independent. I know they come for you and try to take you down if you get too big, but I don't know, man. Until you figure out how to play the game or beat the game, I don't think you'll ever beat the game. You might as well play the game. I'm not talking about conform. I'm not talking about do weird shit, but just, be you and let your art, let whatever you are doing grow organically and do what's right for you to get to where you want to go. If it doesn't happen right away, then so be it. However long it takes you to accomplish your dreams, do it. Because as you see, some people that are doing weird shit to be put on this monolith and to be held and garnered as this person that everybody wants to be like and wants to get to that level, we all find out they did some weird shit to get there or did some weird shit while they were being there. They lose a part of themselves on the way or once they get there. And I don't know if I'm ready for any of that. You feel me? So yeah. Oh, that shit, it's all bad. It's all bad. Let's see what else we got in here. What else we got? The feud has arisen. Oh yeah. Metro Boomin and Future, man. I know I didn't review the album or the verse with y'all, but I'm gonna get real. I'm gonna talk to y'all about it right now, man. The album's hard. The album's hard. The album's hard. This song was hard too. I'm still bouncing that song in my head right now. Pause. I'm listening to that song in my head right now, bro. That verse. Bomb. You know what I'm saying? Prince outlive Mike Jack, nigga, bomb. I'm just like, hey, bro, that shit's in my head. Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know what's happening right now. I don't know what's gonna happen. And I'm over it, man. I'm over it. Okay. I know I said rap music, we need to talk about the positivity and find a way to not have to go against each other and do this and do that, man. I started, violence. I get it. No violence, no violence, no violence, no violence. But I think in hip hop, the competition, it has to be there. You know what I'm saying? I know we want to talk about the kumbaya and let's just all be one genre and we can all have our own little genre in hip hop and just all eat. You can all eat, but I feel like in this genre in music, I'm sorry, there has to be an order. There has to be a number one. I know people it's like we can all just be, all be on top and just all equally do this and not fight. Nah, not in hip hop, man. I kind of thought about it. You can have a whole bunch of different rappers that are okay with just being okay, but when it comes down to it, in hip hop, I want my rappers to strive to be the best, and I think this is what we needed to push that competition. Though, all these rappers and everybody are kind of just going the buddy buddy route and choosing to kind of not make each other upset and just kind of like, be friends and put out music together, featuring each other, and people can decide on their own, oh, who had the better verse, who killed who on the verse, instead of like having that friendly wordplay, like I'm better than you. If you want to rap and try to get it on, let's get it on lyrically. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't necessarily have to be disrespectful, but if we're starting to get at each other and you got something to say about me and we're gonna get down to diss tracks, we're gonna do some research and get down to diss tracks. You know what I'm saying? And nothing really got a bad come out of it. I know that's the fucked up part about it nowadays. It's like, okay, once people get big enough and hella rich and hella money, getting embarrassed is something that nobody wants to do. They won't accept people thinking that somebody is better than them. And if that happens, somebody has to do something, you know what I'm saying? Somebody from somebody's crew has to make an example of it type shit. I mean, the street shit is something that got hip hop kind of popping, and there's this whole genre of street rap. But I kind of feel like sometimes streets and the street politics shit should stay out of music. You know what I'm saying? Just because somebody embarrasses you on a diss track don't mean you have to go fight them or shoot them or do something to their family. I think you should just get back in the studio and say some shit about them. Um, the competition factor, treat it like a sport. Just like Patrick Mahomes goes out there and tries to beat Tom Brady, tries to beat Josh Allen. It's a contact sport, but we ain't trying to go out there and harm and kill each other. We out there trying, we'll hit somebody in the mouth as far as like tackling or a hard hit like that, maybe like a hard hitting bar. But we're gonna leave it all on the field per se. We ain't gonna go out there and try to spin the block because somebody had a clever metaphor about you. You know what I'm saying? We know how the drill rappers and all that stuff get down, but we don't necessarily have to put that stuff in the forefront. That can be a little side genre that does its own thing. Though that's the music they try to push to the forefront nowadays. I kind of feel like the lyricists need to come back. You know what I'm saying? The lyricists should be the forefront of hip hop. I know everybody likes party music. I know everybody doesn't like the lyrical miracle type shit, but there's a happy medium. Making a party song and having lyrics and hooks and bridges that actually make sense and are vibey at the same time. And you hear somebody saying something that you can repeat and not mumbling or something like that, we can bring that back. And I like that. I like that, man. We have the right three people to go at it, not to get too far from the song and the beef itself. Metro Boomin and Future are kind of calling out in this album Drake. After people say it's Metro Boomin and Drake are beefing over a girl, Metro Boomin is Future's homie. You know what I'm saying? So Future chose Metro Boomin's side, and we're just going from there. We see people, rappers and stuff, choosing sides. You saw Rick Ross unfollow Drake. You saw Travis Scott at Rolling Loud trying to get Future and Metro Boomin to play the diss track towards Drake after you saw Travis run around with Drake for Sicko Mode and all the songs that they did together. It's entertainment. I mean, shit behind the scenes goes on. These rappers actually have personalities. They're not robots, they're human beings. And we see shit come out of it. But still, I feel like the art of hip hop, if you have a problem with somebody and not only if you have a problem with somebody, if you want to call yourself number one, may that be known. You know what I'm saying? Back when my favorite rapper, you know what I'm saying, Lil Wayne was on the top of the game, he was calling it out. He was saying he was the best rapper alive. He was showing it feature verse after verse after verse. And if anybody wanted to go out there and try to compete with him to say that they're the best rapper alive, you had to put it on wax. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to hide behind shit. We're not going to just fucking, oh, he's my homie, so I'm not going to put out any tracks. I'm not even going to step on any toes to try to prove I'm the best. Let's see what's going on. And I think that's what Kendrick brought in the song Like That on the album. A lot of the songs on that album are kind of talking about how he don't like, Future's not liking new friends, fuck all them old niggas that was fake type shit. But once you got to Kendrick's track, he was actually out there going in and kind of addressing a lot of stuff that he's heard over the past few months, over the years. J. Cole has been on a run, like I was talking about a little bit ago. He's in album mode. The couple of vlog freestyles he had come out. First person shooter mode is kind of the key topic of conversation, especially it's Drake and J. Cole, and he put a couple of innuendos in the verse that kind of said people are trying to put there's a big three. Is it Drake? Is it J. Cole, or is it and Kendrick? He's like he's Muhammad Ali and a whole bunch of other shit. If you're a lyricist, or if you like music and you can deeper into rap lyrics, you see all the times that J. Cole is trying to sneak this Kendrick Lamar or whoever it may be. He could be trying to sneak this Drake as well. And then Drake is so caught up on trying to be J. Cole's brother, he ain't getting it. Or people are so caught up in saying or thinking that, J. Cole is buddies with Drake, he could be missing it all and just assuming it's for Kendrick Lamar. But we know the beef is directly at Drake. Drake has been taking shots at Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar has been taking shots at Drake. They're both competing to be the number one artist in hip hop. People love Kendrick's artistry. He doesn't pop out as much as Drake is. He's not the big superstar like Drake is, collabing with everybody, kind of grabbing all the girl fans, doing all the shit that he's doing. Kendrick's more the guy that pops out every 4 years, drops an album that's a piece of art, and everybody loves it. Then he goes away for a while. J. Cole is kind of doing the same thing. He comes out, pops out, does his shit. When he does his shit, it's always raw. But then he kind of goes and does features with a whole bunch of people, kills the features, but he doesn't go out and be too showy. He's not the guy to be the superstar. His stuff is artist-y, I would say, but not as artist-y as Kendrick Lamar shit. So it's the way Charlamagne put it. He said Tim Duncan is J. Cole. We got Steph Curry as Kendrick, and then we got LeBron as the LeBron figure as the Drake figure. So it's gonna be interesting to see. I don't know if we respond. If you guys heard the verse, you heard the verse, you know what's going on. I don't know if Drake is gonna respond. Me personally, I don't think J. Cole should really jump in it unless he attacks both. I feel like he has said some shit, some kind of shit on the sly, kind of under his breath, but I do kind of feel like Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole are friends. Those guys are kind of too big as far as, you know what I'm saying? They don't give a fuck about beef, that they would talk it out. Just kind of talk to each other behind the scenes. If they have to go at it on wax, they'll rap, they'll go at it, but I don't think they'll go at it as hard as Kendrick Lamar and Drake will go at it. Who knows if Drake will actually respond because he's on tour right now, bringing out Lil Wayne, bringing out J. Cole, bringing out Sexy Red, and doing his thing, his superstar thing. But you know what I'm saying, shots are fired, and lines were drawn. And people are kind of letting it be known that, they are picking sides, and that Drake may have, treated some people the wrong way and rubbed some people the wrong way. And not everybody in the industry likes Drake. And you can see by who was on the album, featured on the album. We had Curry snoring. Hello, where's that girl at? You hear that shit? She was snoring like a human. But yeah, Rick Ross, The Weeknd, Travis Scott. I don't know. Playboi Carti's on everything. I'm surprised Kanye West isn't on here, but everybody kind of drawing their sides. And we're gonna see what happens out of it. You got Drake, J. Cole. I don't know if Lil Yachty will be over there. Of course, you got Sexy Red. And whoever's going to, choose to associate and line up on the sides. But I kind of just feel like the top three just need to battle it out in a battle royale style, because everybody underneath this is not really important. You know what I'm saying? We want to see what comes out of it from Drake and Kendrick Lamar, because I think it's been a long time coming, man. Everybody thinks Drake is just almighty, and there's other rappers up there that I think can do it, and the only people that can do it to challenge him will be J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar. And we know J. Cole and seemingly is not going to go at Drake at any type of way, so I guess Kendrick Lamar has to be the David to go at the Goliath, and we're gonna see what comes out of it. Hopefully good music, no violence. You feel me? Other music news. Beyonce's country album just dropped, Cowboy Carter, if you're into that type of thing. 27 songs featuring the likes of Willie Nelson, Miley Cyrus, Post Malone, a whole bunch of people that actually are dabbling in the country world as well. Again, Beyonce says it's not a country album. This is a Beyonce album, but I've heard it got really high regards. 27 songs is a lot. Me personally, I'm not a country fan, so I'm not going to sit there and listen to it. But I'll take you guys' words for it. And I know the Beehive is probably loving it. No matter what she does, they're going to love Beyonce. And I love Beyonce as well. But yeah, country is not too much for me. So Again, I'll take you guys' words for it. I know a lot of people like country, so you guys let me know what that do. But go pick it up. It's in your phones right now. And before we get out of pop culture, minimum wage goes up to $20 at McDonald's. So if you don't have a job right now, you're looking to get a job. I know back in the days we frowned at the McDonald's job, the fast food jobs, but shit, everybody gets fast food. Everybody needs fast food. They try to keep them open 24 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? $20, man. I remember back in the days when everybody wanted to work at In and Out because they paid $11 when I was back in high school. Look how far we came. We paying 20. Well, I'm sure inflation has something to do with it because if everything will go up $17, we got to pay everybody $17 more. But $20 to work at McDonald's. Just imagine what they're paying at In and Out right now. The 25, you feel me? Shit. Hey, we need the service, and hey, I appreciate all the workers that are in the service now. I mean, shit. Again, the industry is booming, and I know people fucking are in love with fast food. So we love everything you do. Keep us, I don't want to say healthy, but don't spit in our food. We love y'all. But $20 hours is crazy. So hey, if you don't got a job right now, you driving for Uber Eats or some bullshit like that, they don't want to pay you nothing. They're just taking up all your gas. Think about McDonald's. Think about Jack. Well, I don't know about Jack in the Box and shit. McDonald's is everywhere, so I don't understand how I can pay people $20. So check in Chick-fil-A, check in and Out. You know what I'm saying? They paying money. You see how long those in and out lines be? They need some more help. They need more workers. So check it out. I just thought that was crazy. You know what I'm saying? So financial news from your boy Lydell. You know what I'm saying? In Cinema Corner, Invincible so far. We're in season 2 of Invincible. I'm really hoping that there's not only 8 episodes because we did 4 in the first season. This is season 3, right? Season 2? Season 2. Yeah, this is season 2. This is the second half of season 2. But for first part of season 2 to be 4 episodes. And then I think the second part of season 2 is going to be another 4 episodes. I think it's moving a little bit at a slow pace. We started off with a lot of action. We saw Omni-Man come down, Mark go to the world Omni-Man was on with his family. He met his little brother. The Viltrumites came, whooped his ass, took him. And we saw him take his little brother to Earth and leave him with his mom. And we've been seeing the struggles of Mark have a regular life with his girlfriend, Amber, as well as be like the strongest superhero on Earth, and working with that dude Cecil and learning to trust him as well. It's just that his dad was working for him for a long time, and he's been an evil dude, and for him not to really kind of realize that we always thought Cecil had some underlying evil tones. But Mark is seeming to learn to work with them, and then the team that he's working with now, some of the recruits and the newer Galaxy Defenders, I think they're called. I'm not too sure. Could be wrong. They're kind of finding themselves as well. We see their characters build throughout as well. I'm loving the gruesomeness of it. Again, the art by Ryan Otley and other Kirk, whatever, the guy that does Walking Dead. Yeah, it's just amazing. I like the gruesomeness. I love the what's the word? The closeness to the story it is, you know what I mean? That's actually pretty epic. Like I know a lot of people that are reviewing it saying that it really stays really close to the source material, and they know what's going to happen, but it's they don't want to give it away. And I really like it. I really like that. I watch some reviews, and the accuracy is there, and I like that a lot. I like Alan the Alien being able to come back after getting killed by the Viltrumites and just being stronger. Has that doomsday type of feel. He gets killed, he gets stronger. He kind of remembers how he got killed, and now he's going to challenge the Viltrumites and shit like that. In the latest episode, the girl Viltrumite that came down to try to get Mark to conquer the planet and have it be under Viltrumite rule because the people on the planet are killing the planet type shit. And just seeing how strong they are and how they don't give a fuck about anything. They'll just kill anybody just to represent the Viltrumite way. And even though the Viltrumite way was them killing all of their people until they got down to the strongest ones to survive to go conquer all the other planets. It's a crazy ass race. And their customs are weird as fuck. So it's just kind of moving slow. It's been 3 episodes already. Episode 7 just passed. And basically Omni-Man is getting take the Viltrum to be executed, but they want him to get to full strength so he can be killed at full strength for honor type of reasons or shit like that. They don't want to kill him while he's weak. They want to wait till he's the strongest so he can die with honor type shit. It's kind of weird, but we're in a weird spot. But it's still, the story is cool. The gruesomeness is cool. The character, voice actors are dope. The pops just came out. I don't know if you can see it, but I got a. Let me see if I can move right there. Right there. I have a bloody Omni-Man Invincible pop. I got a whole bunch of new pops I need to show you guys next episode. If y'all can see that Trunks pop right there is new. Got a whole bunch of shit over there. I'm about to complete my Pirates of the Caribbean set over there. Just got that Alex Armstrong recently from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. If you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? You see the figures up there. Got the Incredibles bear brick, you know what I'm saying? The collectibles will not stop. And I really got to do a collectible show to show y'all some more shit, but let me not get too distracted here. Bad Batch Season 3, if you guys haven't seen that, it's out on Disney Plus now. That and X-Men 97 both came out on Disney Plus, kind of fairly new, and Wish, if you guys are looking for something to watch on Disney Plus, because I know it hasn't been new stuff in a while, but there's some new stuff now. Bad Batch has continued. I kind of fell off last season a little bit, but I did catch up for this season. Still kind of the same stuff. They're trying to protect Omega, going through adventures of trying to protect her from getting caught. Thrasher, Hunter, what's the other guy's name? All of them are still alive except, you know, Tech, of course, died, even though I kind of feel like he's still gonna be alive. He's gonna come back a little later, but yeah. It's interesting. It's not the most exciting for me. It's nothing like Clone Wars or nothing like that, the animated series. So I'm trying to stick with it, but I know a lot of my Star Wars fans and a lot of my Star Wars people are into that. A new Star Wars movie is gonna come out, or a TV show. I'm gonna find out some more as it gets closer. I'll tell you guys more about it for all my Star Wars people. And we're gonna have AKA on here to talk more about Star Wars as well, man. I don't know why I haven't had him on here in a while to talk about Star Wars. He's just working a lot, but hopefully he sees this video and can put something on here and just let y'all know that he'll be back soon to talk some Star Wars and some boxing and shit. We got that Tyson and Jake Paul coming soon, so hopefully he'll get a little preview. We'll talk about that a little bit before. So Into the Spider-Verse, the Spider Within short on YouTube. Man, how can I talk about this? That shit was cool, man. You know how big of an Into the Spider-Verse fan I am. If you look on this wall here, I have a whole bunch of Funko Pops, just kind of expressing my love for that movie and just the whole Miles Morales sequencing, man. The whole story. I went and bought a whole bunch of comics after seeing the movie. I know I'm kind of late to the game as far as Marvel comes, as far as Miles Morales goes, but Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse has just deepened my interest in Miles Morales, and I was just kind of mad just because I know March 29th of 2024, so a couple of weeks ago, the new second half of Beyond the Spider-Verse, the second half of Across the Spider-Verse was supposed to drop, but it did get pushed back during the strikes and stuff like that. So I think we're looking at a next year release. So I'm kind of pissed off about that, man. Just the whole phenomenon that was Into and Across the Spider-Verse, and this how they took it to the next level in Across the Spider-Verse, art-wise, and how it got snubbed for Best Animated Movie in the Oscars. It's just how long it took to animate. I think it took like 4 or 5 years to animate and complete. Just the whole different types of anime styles they have for each character. The sequencing of that was probably insane from the beginning when they were fighting the fucking Renaissance style vulture. That art was nuts, to when they had Gwen talking to her father and that whole Peter story and the art that they had during her scene, to the what's freaking Spider-Punk's name? Was it Toby? It couldn't be Toby. But anyways, his character as Spider-Punk, the way his guitar and his character moved the whole time, just little things, and just the music that was going on every time that Spider-Man 2099 came out, the score, it was just amazing. It was very long too, and just the little kid contributors when he did the different universe for the Legos. It was just so much that I was like, man, I cannot wait. And for me I went into the movie not knowing that it was going to be a to be continued type of shit. So once, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, if you haven't, go see that shit right now. It's probably, I think it's on Netflix. But yeah, when he went to the wrong universe, and in the universe he was in, the Spider-Man never became Spider-Man, and he became the Prowler, and him going to that universe and getting caught by his Uncle Aaron and the Prowler as himself. That twist, it just made me long for more. I don't know if I should pause that too, but yeah, and just for the fact that it's like, oh yeah, 2024, May 20, to be continued type shit. And then for the fact that it got delayed even more, I say all that to say this short was really refreshing. It's called The Spider Within. It's about 7 minutes on YouTube. You can find it there now. It's just a short scene. You can tell it's like a not as done up as the movie as far as the art is. You can kind of tell by it, but it's a cool continuance. It's a cool representation of anxiety. Just him dealing with being Spider-Man, being scared of what the power kind of entails or what could happen. Just kind of accepting the responsibility of being Spider-Man. You know, a lot of the stuff, you see that a lot in the Spider-Man stories, him just kind of coming of age type of shit. But Miles Morales, he's in a unique situation, just being, I don't know, just being in his situation where now he knows that, well, I don't know in this short if he knows his dad is going to die in his little incursion event that he has to have. Each Spider-Man has to have. In order to become Spider-Man. I don't know if he's scared of that or he's just kind of dealing with telling his parents or just being a high school kid and just dealing with being Spider-Man and anxiety and just even just regular society anxiety of being a kid in New York and just trying to navigate that. It just kind of represented a lot of us, you know, though we don't have powers, we're not Spider-Man, we ain't doing all that, but we all feel anxious. We all have inner demons that we fight at all times, but we should usually just kind of look to our loved ones and just kind of just be ourselves and not have to kind of like lose ourselves in the pressure of being what people want us to be and being a victim to our expectations, if you will. You know what I mean? You know, everybody deals with that. Not only Spider-Man, not only superheroes. It's like our parents want us to be something. We want something for ourselves. We always want to be better. Sometimes we don't know how. Sometimes we're scared of doing what it takes to be great. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we're scared to step out of our comfort zone to be great. Sometimes, you know, you're sad. Sometimes you don't know how to express being sad. In this video, even though it's 7 minutes, kind of represented that. You saw him in bed, sleep paralysis, you know, just kind of stuck in bed, couldn't move. We saw the sleep demon be himself, you know what I'm saying? Himself was tormenting himself, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and you saw him go through these scenes of, am I worthy? Is this really happening? Am I able to live up to expectations people expect of me? But all in all, shit, all you really need to do is live in the moment, be yourself, and the best will come out of it. Just watch movies with your dad, be a kid, eat ice cream, kick your feet up sometimes, live in the moment and not put all the expectations on yourself because you are great. You know what I'm saying? Live it to your own expectations. You ain't always got to meet everybody else's because sometimes being yourself is the best thing you can do for yourself. And it can be the best thing to help you get to where you want to go in life. Don't push too fast. Life will move the way it's supposed to. So the pressure that you put on yourself to be great no matter what and try to force yourself to that level only makes you sometimes hate yourself for having those expectations of yourself or hate yourself for feeling like you can never really live up to the expectations of others. I don't know. Check it out yourself and have your own, you know, deciphering of it, the meaning of it. But I liked it a lot. Though it wasn't much, it kind of just let us know that they still got it. Though there's a little break, a little hiatus from Spider-Man, the relatable urban superhero can still reach out to us in different ways and let us know, hey, you're super too. Does that make sense? Am I rambling saying some shit that don't make sense? Check it out yourself. It's on YouTube right now. It's called The Spider Within. Love yourself. Give yourself a hug. You know what I'm saying? And reach out to somebody, tell them you love them today. That's how I feel. Updates for Joker. I don't know how to pronounce this. Should tell a French. Folie à deux. October 4th. The Joker 2, basically. Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga. I probably won't be watching it again. I said that on Instagram. I probably will not be watching this movie. Jukebox musical with 15 well-known songs. Okay, that's cool. Still not seeing it. Whatever. But it is coming out October 4th, so check it out. If you guys plan to, if you enjoy the first one, I don't know how the connective tissue, I don't know how connected it will be, but it is a DC movie in a way. The first one was good, but musicals, I don't know. Whatever. Next, Roadhouse. I saw Roadhouse is on Prime right now on your TVs and your phones, on your computers, wherever you watch Prime. It's cool, man. I didn't see the original one for the 80 from the 80s, so I can't really judge it on that. Uh, but I heard it was an action epic 80s classic, you know what I'm saying? Didn't really make sense. It's just a whole bunch of fighting and sex and raw emotion. This one was cool. It didn't really make shit. It didn't really make sense, but I just kind of figured they were just drawing from the original movie. But after I heard that it didn't follow the original movie at all, the love interest wasn't even love interesty in this movie. I don't even know what the fuck was supposed to happen. It just seems like they're in a bar in Florida and everybody just kept fighting all the time. And this dude that killed somebody in a UFC ring named Dalton came to be a security guard for free, and he could beat up groups of guys really easily because he's a UFC fighter. I don't understand how that works. Maybe he was a secret agent in his past life they don't tell us about. But I guess it was cool. Post Malone in the opening, his punches were so fake. I don't know. Actually, it was a bad movie. It was really bad. It was really bad, actually. Conor McGregor just being naked all the time, just being puffing his chest out. It's not realistic, bro. It's like, where the police at in this whole movie? Niggas just fighting all the time in bars, just breaking shit. Oh yeah, the police were Big Dick. That was the cop's name, and he was being owned by. It was just stupid. It was stupid. Go see it for yourself. It's not even worth the review. I know people like Jake Gyllenhaal. I fuck with Jake Gyllenhaal. But and he got yoked for this movie, and there's some cool fight scenes, but the script is dumb. Doesn't really make sense. The shit that happens doesn't make sense, especially the dynamite on the boat scene doesn't make sense. Why the fuck would you blow up a boat when there's supposed to be a girl that you're looking for that's kidnapped on the it doesn't make sense. But if you like fighting, you want to see some people get down, fight for a long time, even fight when it doesn't make sense. Somebody actually stands up at the bar fight, and just punches the guy next to him for no reason. Like, the fuck. Anyways, moving on. I'm not gonna spend too much time on that. Ghostbusters from Frozen Empire. I saw that in the movies. Another movie I can say to you, don't waste your money. Wait for that comes out on HBO Max or whatever it was. I went to go see this because I felt like it was gonna be good. Everybody was like, "Oh yeah, the Ghostbusters Afterlife was hella good. You should go check this out because that one was so good, bruh." I watched Afterlife before I went to go see that movie. Can I tell you, Afterlife was stupid. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have yelled in y'all ears like that. That was fucked up. I should know how to record. I'll be doing this for a long time. I don't want to spike that in your ears, but that shit was dumb as fuck. Do not go see it. First one, Afterlife, was dumb as hell. Supposedly, Egon, whatever. See, personally, I did watch the first and second Ghostbusters back in the day, but I didn't really pay too much attention to it. It came out in the 80s. It does have rewatchability. It is on TV all the time, so I did kind of pay attention a little bit, but not too much. Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, you know what I'm saying? The likes of them. I watched it a little bit. The first and second movies were really alike, so they kind of crammed together in my head. And then the Afterlife kind of tried to pay homage to that by having the same kind of situations. The only thing I liked about Afterlife, Olivia Wilde was in it. That's the only thing. Wilde, whatever her name is, she's beautiful and she was in there. But Paul Rudd, I thought he had a bigger role in that. All that happened to him, he got possessed early in the movie, so he didn't do shit. The mom doesn't do shit. The daughter is the hero of the movie. She doesn't even she just automatically knows how to use radioactive laser beams as the star of the movie, letting her drive around the fucking town shooting laser beams around. The son's driving around in a car with no license, whipping through the town, destroying shit. They don't end up going to jail. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Podcast is pretty funny. It's just weird, bro. It's just unbelievable. And then the second movie, I thought that, okay, maybe they'll give Paul Rudd a bigger role. Maybe they'll be a little bit more involved in this one. But no, there's more of the same. Just more focused on the daughter making stupid ass decisions, having a LGBTQ moment with a ghost and getting tricked by a ghost, fucking everything up. And then she just go, "Oh, I'm sorry. The ghost tricked me into doing it. I've had these strange feelings that I've never felt before." Like, what the fuck? Come on now. This is not what we came to Ghostbusters for. We came to see the old Ghostbusters come back and help you guys get some ghosts. The villain was hella scary. It was cool once the villain got her horns back and was able to get the powers back and become the demon, the frozen demon. But that even only lasted a couple of seconds because once that happened, yeah, the bad guy only was there for like 15 minutes and then they killed the bad guy hella easily. Um, Shoot. Dude from Stuber, fuck, I should know his name by now. He was hella funny. He had some funny lines in the show, in the movie. Paul Rudd had some funny lines in the movie. But this movie was just basically a Stranger Things light type shit. I did like the old Slimer ghost, how they made him look kind of with the practical effects, but everything else, man, I should not have spent my $20 on that. I'm happy that Monkey Man is coming out. Godzilla came out this or last weekend, so I have other options to see in the movie. But this one's for the kids, yo. Again, for the nostalgia of all the other characters coming back again, Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray coming back. A lot of characters coming back from the original. It's just a nostalgia play. Podcast grows up in the second one, so that's kind of interesting to see him grown. The daughter kind of grows up too, but she still act like she's a fucking preteen with no brain. Like, come on, bro. Like half the shit she does, it just makes you hate the character. Like between the two movies, it's just she does dumb shit, and it's just like, yeah. Anyways, I don't want to get too much into it. Go see it yourself. Go check it out. And Godzilla, like I said, Godzilla versus Kong: The New Empires in theaters now. Came out last Friday. Did $194 million globally, which outmatched Dune, which did 182 million globally, which is supposed to be a fucking theatrical masterpiece. So for that to do more numbers than Dune was kind of amazing, though. I think the Japanese and like a lot of the Asian population are really, 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 really into Godzilla. So that's going to be a little juiced, especially when you talk globally. So I'm sure domestically, Dune killed the shit out of Godzilla versus Kong, but globally, it's probably going to kill some shit. But yeah, that's all I really got. But for some shit I'm watching right now, I am catching up on a lot of my anime stuff. We do need to have an anime episode because I know I got my anime heads out there, and I know anime is getting really big right now. And I got a lot of stories to share. I watch a lot of shows, watch a lot of anime, as you can see by my pop collection. So I'm down to talk about that, get some anime heads on the show, and talk a little bit about that as well. Shit. I'm waiting for the boy, not the yeah, the boys is supposed to start soon. Umbrella Academy is supposed to start soon. A lot of stuff is coming out real soon, so stay tuned. I will start doing some episodic reviews once something like that comes out. I may do it for the boys because the boys is kind of big, so I might get Damo on here. I don't know if Damo really likes the boys, but because he likes Shiny, you get it? I'll be cracking myself up. Anyways, that was a joke. But yeah, I'm watching a lot of stuff. If you guys haven't seen Ricky Stenicki, go watch that. Um, I just watched something on Amazon Prime. It's called Please Don't Shit. Please don't something on Amazon Prime with these three kids that go to the wilderness and try to find a treasure. It's just kind of funny. It gives super bad feels and stuff like that. Three guys remind me of the dudes from Workaholics, Adam, Durs, and Adam Durs, and what's my guy's name? I have his pop right there. And Blake, excuse me. Shit, I could I couldn't think of their names. But yeah, good shit. I think that's the end of the pod, man. That's all I got for y'all today. Hopefully everybody had a good Friday or is having a good Friday. Sorry again for not making it last week for the pod, but I got some good information out to you this week. More information coming, I'm sure, on that P. Diddy situation. So I'll have you guys informed up to the date kind of shit, not behind a week late like I'm doing now. Merch still available. Your boy is still available. If you want to be on the pod, hit me up, hit AKA up, hit anybody up associated with the pod. We can get something popping. We'll have Chelsea soon, John soon, aka soon, Damo soon, the guy soon to talk about the wedding and the bachelor party. A lot of guests coming up. I know LBZ wanted to come on soon. A whole bunch of family and a whole bunch of friends want to come on, be a part of the pod that hasn't yet. So I cannot wait to show you guys and introduce you guys to a lot more people that are dear to me that I would like for you guys to be dear to as well. As long, and that's all. If you're looking for the podcast, you know where to find me. It's SAC_Lydell, Patrick_Lydell on the Snapchat. If you're looking for the podcast, it's Best of Bias on TikTok, Best of Bias on YouTube, Best of Bias online. Anywhere you find your favorite podcast, Spotify, Google Play, Anchor, Apple Podcasts. Just go and type the Best of Bias in there podcast, and you'll see Growly. Go ahead, hit that up. We also need to have a prize pick show, man, because I'm really deep in prize picks. $170 the other day. Want to get some picks out there to maybe that's the segment we need to get to. Also, Kicks and Funko Pops is supposed to be a segment me and Damo are trying to introduce. Tournaments still coming. Like, subscribe, hit that bell so you don't miss nothing on YouTube. AKA, again, thank you for always having our videos lit, having us lit, and having having it out there for people who don't listen audio or are just here for the visuals. I know they come out a little bit later than the video, but we try to get it out as soon as possible. But again, it's your boy Lydell Dinero. You know what I'm saying? You're great no matter what they tell you, no matter what expectations they put on you. Just be you and the best you can be. Hey. Till next time, it's Friday. It's the Best of Bias podcast. I'm Lydell Dinero, and it's the Best of Bias podcast. One more time. Where that theme song at? Yeah.
It's the best of Bias. You need the earful. You should try us. From pop culture to the movies to Unitas. It's the best of Bias. Your best of Bias. Yeah. It's the best of Bias.